Caitlin. I'm an academic liaison librarian, and I'm going to talk to you today about my experience of creating accessible guides with the help of student partners. One thing about me is that I always turn to pop music when I need inspiration, and usually it's Taylor Swift, but in this case, the song The Climb by Miley Cyrus to me really embodied the issues that students face when they're joining university. And so this was my inspiration, the pitch that I gave to my managers when I went to embark on this project. It was inspired by my time as an international student, first in France and then in the UK. So I'll just read it out. Picture yourself as a new student trying to adjust during your first year at university. There's so much to learn, and not just in class. Now imagine starting university in a new country where you're a non-native speaker, or as an adult learner returning to education, or experiencing a neurodivergence and anxiety. It's a steep learning curve. What can we offer these students to help ease the climb? So what I wanted to do was to create a variety of guides in different formats. So library service guides in print, online, video. It was really important that I worked with students. I really wanted student feedback to form the basis of the guides. I didn't want us to keep on churning out what we thought students should know. Instead, I wanted to answer the questions student had. And I wanted to make sure that it was in an easy read style, that we, as I said, produce them in a variety of formats, and that would let students choose the format that was most accessible for them. Before the project started, I got in contact with our library student helpers who work with us term time, and I asked them to review our current library induction materials, which consisted of a slideshow and a recording of the slides. They got back to me, and these are some of the key themes that they pulled out. They wanted more information about locating books in the library. It was very important to them that we avoided the use of any negative language. They wanted more information of the type of study spaces that we offered and how they could book individual spaces. They wanted to know more about the support that was available and who they could contact for the support. And they just wanted more images of the library and the materials. So with this information, I applied for an ALN EDI Innovation Fund, and I received a grant for £500. With that, we used it to employ 2 student helpers just to work on the project for 15 hours each. We encouraged applicants who had an interest already in diversity and accessibility, and were really pleased by the amount and the high caliber of those applications. We interviewed 10 students. 5 I would have happily worked with, but I had to just pick the top 2. And very serendipitously, they happened to represent 2 of our target audiences. So we had a student with a disclosed neurodivergence and also a student who is international. So I got them to straight away start reviewing the content that we were working on for the guides to make sure that it was indeed answering the questions that they were asking about the library service, and also to check the language that we were using. Was it appropriate? Was it easy to understand? Were any instructions clear to follow? I then tasked them with the job of creating a series of short induction videos, each on a different theme. Our proposed project outputs were to create an induction space, so where all the materials could be housed, all the different types of guides, and have that on our library services SharePoint page. To have an external web page about our library accessibility. I was shocked when I discovered that we didn't already have one. To have printed guides, both in regular print and large print, library induction videos and audio described videos, and accessible library maps, and a 360 tour of the library. So that's where you have a 360 image that you can navigate the space on your screen, and there's hotspots that you can click on, get pop-ups, and get more information from it. Lots of challenges, mostly delays. I was responsible for part of the delays. I didn't know all the processes and all the forms that needed to be completed to get an external grant at our university. So that took some time to get sorted out. Once that was sorted out, when we were working with other university departments, they all have really heavy workloads themselves. So it was just trying to squeeze us into their scheduled work. That meant that our planned recruitment of the students slid from July into August. We wanted the guides ready for the start of term. They were 2 weeks late. Our print versions weren't even available until December, and our 360 tour is still outstanding. The member of staff who has that expertise is pretty much constantly booked and busy. But we did manage to achieve what I think is quite a lot. So we got the external web page about accessibility. That was the first thing we got done. We have now a Get to Know Your Library page within our student services. We have printed library guides, and also they're available online. We have PDFs to download, large print PDF to download, and it's available as a web page with a voice reader. We have our library induction videos, and we have some accessible library maps. So this is our Get to Know Your Library page. There's a blurb about our team, how you can contact us for support. We have our videos there. They're about things like borrowing and returning books, booking spaces, and what library study spaces are available. Then we have all the links to our guides and then the links to our maps. So this is our library guides here. Some screenshots so you can see we have some lovely pictures, lots of images of the library as requested by students. And quickly, I hope to show you this video that our students produced. What is LIS?
Hey guys, you might be wondering, what is LIS? To be more simply, LIS is Learning Information Services. They are the team in charge of your physical and your online library services, which includes IT too. They do so much, but what does break it down for you?
So the university has 6 physical libraries, one on each campus, with their opening times on the portal, the UOC app, or their Instagram page. You can use them to study, borrow or return books, get your ID card, which you can use to access all libraries, including the Seaborn Library, which is 24 hours open.
Online, you can use library search to find journals and ebooks for your assignments. If you don't find what you're looking for, you can contact LIS through their mobile number or their email here, and they can help you. Or you can go to the front desk and ask a member of the team.
Now on to IT. They can help you with printing, Wi-Fi, Moodle and portal issues, setting up your multi-factor authentication, which helps you to get onto your UOC app that helps you download free university softwares such as Microsoft and Teams.
And finally, the fun bit. LIS also offers free leisure resources through Libby, with thousands of fiction and non-fiction books, free films through Canopy, board games you can play with your friends, and mindfulness spaces.
For more information, email lis.helpdesk@chester.ac.uk or stop by your library help desk. Okay, so I also created some things for you and the audience. We have up on the ALN EDI site a toolkit that includes best practice and accessible library guides, do's and don'ts, and a print accessibility checklist if you were wanting to do similar type work. So in my mind, at least, the project doesn't end here. I want to keep on developing it. So the first stage is that alongside Teesside and Hull universities, we applied for another ALN EDI grant this year, and we received that on a project to create sensory maps. I'd also like to work on a self-guided library tour. I have a print version of our large print guides, complete all the maps for all the library sites. That's very much tied into the Sensory Maps project, and maybe finally complete the 360 library tour. So that's my presentation. My email is up there on the screen if you'd want to get in touch with me if you have any questions, but I'm happy to take any questions now.